Hey, you like music, kid?
That's a really good Peter Frampton impersonation. Hey kid, you like music? Come into my sex palace and I'll play you some smooth talk box.
I wasn't around when they did the one thing that makes them famous. I have no idea why I'm supposed to be so impressed that Dionne Warwick showed up on Match Game or whatever. You know what I mean? As a kid, I was just... I don't know what Sammy Davis Jr. ever did.
I have no idea why I'm named after her. My name was Crystal Diane.
Because everybody's dying to meet you.
I'm really gonna need the vape.
Shanita.
Oh, the vape's downstairs.
Never mind.
You need to wait?
The vape.
Oh, right. Chris was using the vape.
I'll just huff the glade. Oh god, I don't want to do Frampton. Do my stretches so I don't pull something.
Your stretches, you don't pull something out of anger?
Yeah, we're gonna need a very ready filler bell. And also a bell for whenever he does the stupid what's that called? The mouth.
The wow.
Have him
I
and
can do it with my mouth. I don't even need a thing.
Have him and Joe Walsh ever had a wow wow off?
Maybe. Would that not be the coolest thing ever? Ever?
Well, everyone needs to plug in.
The Framp.
Welcome to episode 50.
Woo!
We've done 50 of these things.
Never thought we'd get this far, did ya?
When we hit episode 62 and we're still at 31 subscribers, the podcast is over for good.
You say that like every week.
So welcome to
you say something like that.
Welcome
if we don't get one more subscriber this week,
Welcome to the 13th last.
I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, whatever.
Welcome to the 50th and final episode of Talking Over Albums. Maybe we should introduce ourselves. I know that other podcasts have
We're doing
things
Frank
they
Stallone's
do.
greatest hits.
Actually, I hate it when other podcasts constantly introduce themselves. I don't care. If you've listened to one episode, you know who the people are. So it's
right.
Hi.
But what if this is their first episode?
I'm Brett Magic Stick Warren.
Right. It's all I know is that one's gravelly voice, that one's loud voice, and that one's screechy voice.
Hey.
You don't have to know names.
Here in the Kinnear's Lounge, celebrating, I guess.
The upstairs of the lounge. The lounge.
Does anyone have any magic memories of previous episodes?
No, but I do want to point out that my brother bought a funeral home yesterday. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to continue doing funerals in it because there are still apparently clients involved. So I'm just.
I can picture him doing part-time.
Yeah, he's dealing with people as a nurse practitioner, and then on the side, he's like, "Well, once you die, I can still take care of you." Just bring your body to Henry. Just bring your body to Henry down to Brenton's mortuary. You stab him, we slap him.
As long as you don't f*** him.
So the answer is do more Van Halen.
Clearly. Yeah, whatever.
I'm just waiting for George Michael's next album to come out. It's going to be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here it is, fresh off the press. Here's a copy for you. The first one has it's front and back, and the third page.
Okay.
So here's your copy.
Oh, you got a copy?
Special edition for
I am.
episode 50.
There's a red.
Could you get a smaller font? East Peoria, holiday in 1967.
Alright, so just give a little context behind this stupid little skit that I've written. We're at the local drinking establishment, which isn't going to get any free press. Yeah. Oh wait, I also want to do a little shout out. It's kind of pointless since we have no listeners, so I'm not really like giving him any free publicity. But if anyone's listening, D has a new podcast with Berwin. His friend used to live here, now lives in Las Vegas, called TBA. The letters TBA. What's that thing called? Exclamation.
Oh, right.
Exclamation point, Dizzy and Bo. Something. Okay, whatever. Free publicity for you, jackass. Put that in the recycle bin. Okay, so we were at the local drinking establishment, and I don't know how I was looking it up. Just was searching Janssen, and this article came up about...
It's called the green apple? The poison apple.
Yes, the poison apple. Le Brouwerie Farms. Yeah, so I was searching Jay Janssen online for something, don't remember what, and then this article came up about, I guess it was in the online Peoria Journal Star, about Jay Janssen in 1967 getting pegged to be the prosecution against the band The Strawberry Alarm Clock because they were busted for pot in a Holiday Inn in East Peoria, or Pekin. I don't know what was going on. But, yes, that was like the second article, because the first one was just, this day in rock and roll, a Strawberry Alarm Clock in Peoria, and then Jay Janssen, somebody knows him, was like, hey, didn't you work this case? And then he gave some like pointless facts. It didn't really shed any light on it other than he was saying the band's lawyer.
So he said some lawyer
yeah.
that neither confirms or denies anything.
Yeah,
even though it's already a part of the public record.
The band's defense attorney, all he said was he was smartly dressed and was well paid, and that's all I had to say about it. Okay, everyone get your reading glasses on. This is Jay Janssen v. the Strawberry Alarm Clock, Dawn of the Rise of Justice. East Peoria Holiday Inn, 1967. Boy, it sure does feel groovy to be in the best band in the world, and surely not just a one-hit wonder whose 5 minutes of fame will not extend beyond this year.
Yeah, man, dig it. It's such a gas to be here in East Peoria or Pekin at this Holiday Inn. It's so holiday-ish.
Don't go off script.
We've been really hit the big time. Now let's celebrate with the 40 groupies who cram themselves, I can't count, who cram themselves into our hotel room by smoking some serious doobage.
Strawberry Alarm Clock singer guy.
I said doobage.
Strawberry Alarm Clock singer guy pulls out tape player. Incense and Peppermints begins to play.
You guys make the Beatles sound like shit. Psychedelic music like this will never die. Now, give me some of that sweet, sweet Mary Jane.
Suddenly, there's a bang at the door.
Open up, it's the pigs.
Open up, you pot-smoking freaks. It's me, Tazewell County State's Attorney Bernard Altman. And you're ruining my re-election chances with your flippant, young, sexy culture orgies. Orgies.
It's you again.
New voice.
Ah, it's the Peppermints, and they know which game we choose. What the
Oh, God, I shouldn't have stolen that gnome's shoes at the county fair.
Cool it, Daffodil. Just stay perfectly still and they won't see us. Their visual acuity is based on movement. Door bursts open, revealing Tazewell County State's Attorney Bernard Altman and 3 uniformed officers. Officers.
Grab these turkeys.
Too bad I can fly, motherfuckers. Ah!
One of the Strawberry Alarm Clock's roadies jumps from the second-story window and breaking both legs. 40-plus groupies and band members are rounded up as police search the hotel room for contraband. Who cares what games we choose? You just hate our beautiful hair and free love, you establishment f***. You're just trying to divide this cockeyed world in two.
You'll be sorry, pig. We have Melon Belly on retainer.
Melvin Belly, not the renowned San Francisco-based attorney of the same name.
Quite, bitch.
Next day, Don't go off script. Next day, downtown Peoria. Budding law practice of future Peoria super lawyer Jay Janssen. Jay sits in his as-of-yet-to-be gold-plated palace, stroking his pet collies. Phone rings. Hello, it's me, future Peoria super lawyer Jay Janssen.
Spot on. Jay, it's Bernard Altman, Tazewell County State's Attorney. We have a serious problem.
What is it, Bernard? I'm busy working on ideas for a talk show.
You're still youngish, Jay. You know that hippie devil music band, the Strawberry Alarm Clock? Well, I'm sure you've heard by now.
Yes. Marijuana at the Holiday Inn of all places.
Well, those smug little freewheeling, sexy young countercultures. What? Savants. Are being represented by
who, Bernard?
By...
Just spit it out, you Weasley jackass.
Melvin Belly!
Melvin Belly? From Frisco? God damn it, he's groovy.
I need you, Jay.
Next day, Peoria County Courthouse. Courthouse. The scene is like Beatlemania meets Law and Order. Gavel, gavel, gavel. I think you're the judge. Yeah, that's you.
I didn't mark that one. I'm sorry. The court comes to order. I think that's the phrase. You sexy counterculture hippies. The Strawberry Alarm Clock have been charged with possession of illegal narcotics and freaking out America's youth. How do you plead?
We're groovy, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution have anything to add?
Yes. Have you heard of Johnson & Johnson? Well, in 20 years, I will have tried a case that will have defined my career.
Mm-hmm.
Reverence, Your Honor.
Sustained.
We can't prove whose weed was being toked in that sexy hotel room freak fest at the Holiday Inn. But we can prove that America's answer to the Beatles, the Strawberry Alarm Clock, are directly responsible through their general shitting upon of decent values and corruption of our youth with their marijuana lyrics. I give you Exhibit A, the song Rainy Day Mushroom Pillow. Rainy Day Mushroom Pillow, colors green and yellow, brown and yellow, wonder if they'll turn black ever, contemplating one another, ...
Your Honor, the hotel room was not registered in the band's name. Possession cannot be proven, as there were 40 other young, sexy occupants of said hotel rooms. In case isn't about who was smoking what. It's about one small state's attorney, Mr. Bernard Altman, wanting to prosecute 4, possibly 5, I don't know. I didn't research the band all that much. Boys, sexy boys with golden hair who just want to spread some groovy vibrations to these backwards river folk.
That San Francisco accent.
I'm going to edit this out, but you read it the way I originally wrote it. Anyway.
What?
Okay, wait. Okay.
Don't judge me. I'm an artist.
Does the prosecution have a rebuttal or whatever?
No, Your Honor, but... ...
Then I have no choice but to dismiss this jive-ass case with extreme prejudice and declare this is a victory for free love over the forces of status quo crackery.
Courtroom erupts in cheers, sitar music, and freaky free love bong smoke. Your Honor, may I address the jury?
This is just an inquiry, Mr. Janssen.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today we're going to talk about a topic...
Can I get some of that bong smoke?
Thank you, Your Honor. Today we're going to talk about a topic of interest in the law. Workman's compensation. ... The end.
Or is it?
And the rest is history, I guess. I don't know. Alright, Frampton comes alive. Anyone have anything to say about
I always thought it'd be a great actor.
Album?
I always thought I should do voice work.
Yes. Yes, you'd had some impressive ad-libs in there. You didn't go off script either. I appreciate it.
God. Quentin Tarantino over here.
I would never go off script. It's really not my
It's
nature.
the way I wanted it, even though it doesn't make any sense that my character would say that.
Does anyone...
I believe my character writes whatever the writer wrote down.
All right, according to Wikipedia, 1976.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
It's a different approach to acting.
I think Frampton
Wanna
Comes
do it?
Alive...
That's what actors do.
Are you going to sleep your way to the middle?
I'm sleeping my way to mediocrity.
Well, we're doing the album that killed the 70s. I mean, some people could claim that, like, the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack did that, but I'm going to go with this. I hate this album. I hate Peter Frampton. This might be the only thing more mediocre than Tapestry.
Oh, dear. I'm scared.
I'm just starting unless anyone else...
I know people say that, like, Peter Frampton is, like, a good guitar player. And I think he is. I hear things, and I'm like, ooh, I don't even understand what's happening right now. But also at the same time, I never understood somebody could do that, and still, it's kind of boring at the same time. Like, I've never heard that before, and didn't need to.
You guys, I'm frightened now.
I'd like to give a shout out, because there are other guys in the band. There is Bob Mayo,
David Bowie, briefly.
Stanley Sheldon, and John Siomos.
John Mayer was in the band?
John Mayer's uncle, John Siomos, on drums. All right, let's get it started, because this is long. I'm going to skip most of it. Do you guys feel like I do?
Probably not.
I mean, that's presuming a lot. He's asking us to presume a lot. I mean, how do we know how he
margaritas
feels?
in? How could I possibly feel like this guy does?
Yeah. All right, here it is.
Let alone you. I thought you were asking me yourself. Do you feel like I do? Are
here's-
you ready for Peter Frampton?
Introduction / something's happening.
Uh-oh. Here
Oh,
we
right,
go.
because this is a live album.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Doors.
I want you to f*** off.
All the way from Rockford, Illinois. Cheap Trick.
Like, you can hear the 70s dying.
No.
He's an honorary member of San Francisco
Yeah, 'cause
Society.
He's from in England.
He's the least San Francisco
What
person
kind of
that
an
ever
honor
lived.
is that?
Oh God, I quit.
Northampton, maybe.
I don't know. I should discuss the legacy of Frampton Comes Alive. This is another, like Tapestry, this is another one of those albums where I don't think any of the...
Every stone dumbass liked it.
Other than the fact that it was really popular, I don't think it has any real artistic or cultural value. It's just... It's like perfect middle-of-the-road music. Like, half these songs I didn't even know were Peter Frampton until, like, years after I had been listening to classic rock.
It's sort of like Boston in a way. That it's just like, there was this time period where this kind of music was, like, everybody just wanted a break.
So I gotta put this in the
I can't
honorary
take
place.
any more of these inventive people. Need something that's a break. It does sound like the guy Paul Stanley from Kiss is singing. So maybe people were high and they didn't realize. They thought maybe Kiss was on stage right now.
This doesn't sound so objectionable.
I mean, I guess I could say that's what you said at the beginning of Tapestry, or I did.
Okay, stop trying to scare me.
So I guess you have to say, in 1976, this sounds relatively fresh. It's not like it doesn't have that sort of gimmicky AM pop sound. I mean, I love that music, but it's not been influenced by disco yet. This is like right at the emergence of disco, I think. So it still sounds relatively timeless. Again, like you just mentioned Kiss. Like, it's sort of in that vein of like, yay, it's fun mid-tempo live band, party jam.
This is
shit.
the one thing in my childhood when this was popular. I wasn't around anybody of this age group that liked Peter Frampton. Like, my dad was all into like Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and stuff like that, more concept-y type stuff. And my mom was into like the hit stuff. And I had a neighbor who introduced me to Kiss right around this time. And, you know, as a kid, oh, it was awesome when I was a kid. It was completely different than what was on the radio at the time. But I'm serious, I'm just, from my point of view, I got a lot older before I even knew who Peter Frampton was. Like, it just, didn't even register on my thing. It was like my mom was with the top 40 hits, and my dad was all about, you know, and then, like, kids my age listened to one thing, you know, and this just did not hit anybody that I knew's, so I never experienced it. Now, does anybody find that interesting? Probably not.
Well,
but
it's the same for me. Because nobody in my family listened to this sort of thing. For what? Different reasons, but it just wasn't, I wasn't around it.
Yeah, just, it's so funny how it was years later when somebody pointed out to me that this guy even existed. And I was just, who? You know,
well,
like,
yeah, and
is this somebody I need to know who it is? Or?
I've known his name forever, but I don't really know his work. And based on what I'm hearing, it sounds like maybe I wasn't going to care.
From what I understood, people liked that what they heard in concert was very similar to what his album was like or something. So they that's how he got popular. It was like they literally realized, oh, the best part of this is hearing it live. Which some bands are just like that. You know, people just like them better live.
All you need to know is that he was in the Sgt. Pepper's movie. And he was great.
Okay.
I didn't have this thought until now, but he was kind of like Bowie if you strip away everything good and interesting. Because around the same time you have... This concert was recorded in 1975, so it would have been Young Americans... And it's still kind of in the vein of the same sound, like the bouncy, kind of mid-tempo R&B rock thing. But this is right before David Bowie started to veer off into like more heady, avant-garde, intellectual stuff, like Station to Station and Low Lodger and not Young Americans, Heroes. So yeah, if this is for people who are easily susceptible to being freaked out by,
Well, and I feel like I'm just
high art.
I'm going to be familiar enough with the songs on this album just from being around people who are listening to whatever the classic rock station is. I'm like I know these songs, but I've never really paid any attention. Wait,
it's like
what's
Tapestry,
the relationship
they're always just there
between Bowie and Frampton?
Oh, nothing.
Okay.
I was just trying
Just
to make one
frame.
up because I'd rather talk about Bowie than...
That's fair. We can't be to a filler song already.
Yep.
I thought everybody loves this song.
He only has like 3 hits, I think, or something. So
there's nothing overtly like groovy in this. So I think one nice thing I'll say about this is it's aged pretty well. There's nothing overtly 70s about it.
I'm going to get hate mail for this, but this is one of those songs that I confuse and I go, is this Led Zeppelin or somebody else?
I'll edit that out, don't worry.
Sorry.
No,
but it's got that same kind of rhythm as that Hobbit song, and like it's got enough in common with some other stuff that I've heard mostly at bars when I wasn't really paying attention that it's in that category for me. Mm-hmm. That's my level of familiarity.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm already broken.
Seriously, this is worse than Tapestry for you.
So I guess I should bring
this
up
feels very benign.
I guess you should also bring up yacht rock, because like this isn't even close, but it's like it's not Jimmy Buffett and it's not yacht rock. It's like a oh god, I don't know. It's like
stoner rock.
Yeah, not really, because he's not a jam band, so it's not. This isn't at all like Grateful Dead either. It's just sort of in this epicenter of like just chilling in the back of my Chevy van type of thing. Someone who can't afford to get their van all the way to the beach. They're just like in a shitty parking lot somewhere.
But they're going to listen to
like
this.
A couple of miles, and then they have to walk the rest of the way to the beach. They definitely can't get on the yacht. But yeah.
I can see
Who knows?
The carpet on the van walls.
Well, we should have clocked it. If we should have stopwatch, we could have clocked like how much of this is just guitar solos.
That's still doable.
It was just fun.
I'm gonna be gone for most of this episode.
I'll bet you that was a lot of what it was. There was a lot of people the first time they got high, they were listening to Peter Frampton probably. Open up for somebody else. Plus, there weren't a lot of festivals yet.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get this kind of festival type music, see, Grateful Dead not coming around, but Peter Frampton's coming around. It kind of sounds the same. It's very similar.
I feel like this is kind of the definition of a jam band.
It's kind of just jammy crap.
The radio versions that we hear at the bar aren't very jam songy, but definitely when they're live, that's what this is.
This sounds like shit stone people like to listen to. That's what I think of. That's the first thing I thought of. And like I said earlier, it just never hit, like it never came into my wheelhouse until later. 10 years later, maybe more. Somebody would say something about Peter Frampton, I'm like, I don't even know who that is. And they just look at me like I was crazy, or they just like, all right.
I wash my hands this time, just for you. What song are we on? Is it over yet?
Does it make you cry? Is that what he's saying?
The dolphins make me cry.
Because the dolphins make me cry.
Oh,
The
song
guitar
is...
solo counter is at 1 minute.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
We missed a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well, let's do the over-under. I'm going to say 8
Oh.
8 minutes and 20 seconds. Everyone just... I'll write it down. Hold on.
Per song?
Just the whole thing, like... Guitars.
How many songs are there?
It's like 16.
I'm going to go with 15 minutes.
15 minutes worth of guitar solos. All right, I'm going to go with 8. You're 15. What's your guess?
Per song?
No, just like the total amount of guitar soloing.
You know, this means we have to
Do
listen to
you
the whole
feel
thing.
like I feel is on here? So I'm gonna go like really high, like 20 minutes.
Ooh.
All right.
Price is Right rules? I'm counting this.
Just
That's not a guitar solo.
it has to be individual notes. That was like, but
It'll be interesting to find out.
You can count
We
whatever
won't
you
know
want.
this time, but we can have a good guess.
Just don't cheat and try to get closer to your number.
I would never.
Here's the
We've had about 5 minutes of guitar solos already.
last song was
so.
Doobie Wah. Here's Lines on My Face.
I don't know why you gotta speak that way about me. It's not my fault I'm older.
You don't have any lines, baby. Just those ones on your nose.
My frown lines. My what the lines?
I mean,
Intro is different.
he is soloing, but it's not a solo. This is noodling. There's a difference between noodling and
No,
soloing.
see, you're already making caveats
No.
to it. I win. He already made caveats. I won. He
No.
knows I got it this easily.
No, there's
And it's still not even going to come close.
no, because it's leading into a singing. It has to be. Oh, it's very obvious when it's a guitar solo. It's like, okay, here begins the.
When the guitarist is featured, it's a solo.
Well,
If it was just a drum player playing, what would you call it?
I'm making
a
up
drum
the rules.
solo.
Fine. We can pass this around from song to song, so you can interpret the guitar solo how you wish. I'll take this.
Anytime the guitarist is on the main stage and nobody's singing or anything, that's basically a guitar solo.
Whatever. He's one of those guys whose singing voice is significantly more tolerable than his speaking voice, or at least at the time.
Really?
Because when you watch the Sgt. Pepper's movie, every time he speaks, part of it's his face. Although, I do have to give them the benefit of the doubt with the Sgt. Pepper's movie, because they kind of got screwed in that none of the Beatles wanted to have anything to do with the movie. I think you could understand how that felt. Even if you suck at acting and you're like, oh, cool, the best band in the world, they were told that they have the seal of approval and that some of them might be involved, and then when they're not, that'd be pretty embarrassing. So,
This sounds like the guy that, I don't know, Lady in Red guy.
Chris de Burgh.
That's not even quite the right song, but that's what that sounded like. Someday I'll know what I'm talking about, and we'll edit that back in.
His guitar tone is nice, I will say that. It sounds like he's kind of using the guitar tone on David Bowie's album circa this time. It would have been like Carlos Alomar. Oh, God, this is boring. Shit. Isn't this the beginning of the concert? He's just putting people to sleep immediately.
third
They're all
song in.
stoned. They're fine.
I'm kind of wishing I was stoned.
I was just reading about it while you guys were talking, and there was only about 3 flubs on the whole album. The rest of it's actually alive as it was recorded.
I'm already about to lose. But you're going to have to do the math.
This is the second solo of this particular song. It wouldn't even start through the first 2 songs.
You're going to have to do the math at the end to see what the ratio is.
I was just doing the Price is Right. Like, I have to be above you.
Hey, this is better than...
And I'm pretty sure...
You knew $1
guitar,
was not going to need...
I'm pretty sure the guitar solo from Do You Feel Like I Feel is half of my guess. Is Peter Frampton still alive?
Yeah, what's he doing these days? Here's
There you
Show
go.
Me the Way.
Show me the way! Wow.
Meow, 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 meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
Enjoy my noodles, you shits. Well, I know he's alive, and all he does these days are cover albums and interviews with guitar magazines.
I love your strings! He goes on tour every once in a while, I know that.
He's on CBS Sunday Morning like every damn week.
Here's People Ask on Google, what disease does Peter Frampton have? What has Peter Frampton been diagnosed with? Where does Peter Frampton currently
Just
live?
watch CBS Sunday Morning. They'll tell you all about it next week.
Oh, Peter Frampton books farewell tour, has degenerative muscle disease. Oh, sorry, Peter.
Does he have MS like everyone else?
I think he might have been in Ringo's All-Star Band at one point, like every classic rocker who needs a paycheck.
And that...
Wait,
Is that
what is it
just
when
a
you sing
rotating
it?
thing?
Someone pops a cop. Someone pops a cop and I submerge.
I wasn't
What?
really listening.
No, in this song, there's a lyric.
That's the whole problem with his album, I think, is I'm never really listening to it. It's just like
It's
pleasant.
sing-songy.
It's like pleasant and it's in the background. It's immediately.
If you were stoned right now, you would be
relegated to the
enjoying the
background.
shit out of this.
I'm enjoying it just fine.
Oh, it's when
Show me the way
when someone drops a cup
day.
and I submerge.
Drops a cop.
Drinking.
Well, I can see no reason you living on your nerves when someone drops a cup and I submerge. What is this song about? This verse makes no sense. Well, I can see no reason you living on your nerves when someone drops a cup and I submerge.
Nope, that does not make sense. I don't care how many times you read it to me. It's not getting better.
Oh, it's ear cancer.
It's a guitar solo. Can we put it?
Oh, it's not belling.
I'm sorry. I had a refill. Can we put a meow filter on that?
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
What's really funny is the main
I'll
guitar
drink
on
more.
this
You'll
is
have
like a
some
12
good
string, isn't
background.
it? It's like he's not even playing the guitar you're thinking he's playing. It's somebody else playing a 12 string, and he's doing the wow 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 on his guitar.
The drummer's really good.
So mad the way
I've always liked the drummer. It's funny that you say that.
I want to.
He really has a good sound to it.
What am I supposed to show him the way to?
Well, let's see.
Or am I supposed to show him how to do something?
It's really all about how it sounds. I don't know if the lyrics matter that much. You can sing along with it.
Today.
There's only one verse in this. Okay, no, yeah. All right, there's 2 verses and they're both super vague, and then it just goes into the chorus for 3 minutes.
It's word salad. It's word salad.
I refuse to acknowledge the person you just mentioned anymore. Next.
Who, Peter Frampton?
Yes.
Okay, at this point,
Pretty
I think
hard
we
to
should
talk
just have
about
a
Frampton
bet.
Comes Alive without talking about Peter Frampton.
Here's It's a Plain Shame.
It's plain.
But how are we
shame.
playing? Okay.
It's a plain shame.
Because, you know, I'm on a plane.
I guess I should also say I've never sat down and listened to this ever.
It's not that unpleasant. I mean,
Oh,
it's
it's
not
fine.
life-changingly good or anything,
It's-
but
Yeah, not.
this would have been a fun show to be at.
I still think it's dumb and middling, but it does have at least a decent, timeless sound to it. Even some really good albums, it's like, okay, it's that year. You can pinpoint the year that it...
If you just listen to it, you hear his influences, and they're all good influences.
I guess...
And it sounds very 70s.
This album suffers from something we've run into before, I think. Because we're doing a podcast and we want to actually be able to hear each other, not weirdly be screaming at a microphone when the people who are listening can't hear the music.
Like this?
Yes. Yeah, like this music wants to be louder. And we listen to it as a very reasonable volume because that's the nature of what we're doing. But it kind of wants to be louder. Oh. Guitar solo.
Yeah. So some things some things I do like. There's no synthesizers on here. It's not overtly pandering to an arena crowd. At least the writing of the song. So it's not Boston, thank God. And it's not trying to do it's not trying to grab things from prog rock. So
I was just thinking when I heard this, you said that, and I was like, it's not Boston. And it's like, yeah, Boston sounds like somebody playing with all their stuff that they have in their studio to mess with. You know, it's more like, okay, I get it. It's very radio accessible. It's nothing to offend anybody. We've talked about it. We did it. We've talked about it before. This actually this is how I see this similarly. This is all like he was just like, no, you have to hear it live. You're going to like my shit a lot better if you hear it live. You know?
So come to my show and play the album on headphones while you're at the show. The sweet double effect.
I feel like the guitar solos are longer in the live versions.
This is going to be tough because we've never really done a marathon album.
Just want to kill me right here, Dave. Boom, dead.
Living in Clint.
Clip.
Clint?
Clip.
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 By...
Like clipping the amp. The amps are living in clip.
Where's your ball? Where's your ball?
Oh! Oh,
Here's the pre-Scorpions wind of change. This is just a wind of change. It's not. This isn't the winds of change. It's just a wind.
Just one wind.
One wind.
Just the one.
Oh, he's only got one. He can only afford one wind of change. It's a sad English wind on top of that.
It could be a wind of change. Oh, acoustic. There might not be a solo in this.
No, they'll find a way.
Isn't this Show Me... Ain't That the Way by Led Zeppelin? I think it's the same riff.
What was that song I said earlier?
I don't know.
I'll be holding on.
Are you reverting back to Club Cameo?
It's not Cameo or Club Nouveau.
She has to turn everything into a Madonna or something.
Club Nouveau.
I have to relate it to what I know, man. It's the first thing that comes up.
That's fair enough.
Holding Back the Years.
Otherwise you'd blow your brains
by
out.
Simply Red. I said it was Simply Something.
Simply Red.
Yeah, I didn't like Simply Red. Simply Purple, I was fine with. Simply Blue, no problem. Simply Red, nope, I'm out.
What was that song he did? It was
it's not so simple anymore.
He did some cover in the late 80s, early 90s where...
It's very complicated.
Where he took a pop hit that already existed from the 80s and just rewrote the lyrics. I can't remember what it was. Can you look up his greatest hits?
Are you talking about Hammer?
Simply... Oh, wait, no, you have to...
She's a super freak.
He was a sexy man. Man, his audience...
If you don't know me by now...
Oh, this is a nice little 15-minute nap you get in the middle of a concert. That's pretty sweet, right? I did read on here that this album was supposed to be one album.
Holy shit. He's got like 12 studio albums.
Who does?
Simply Red.
I think he and Rick Astley might be the same person.
Filler bell. Where's all the filler bells? Here, I got it. I got an almost empty drink over here. Give me a bell. Here we go. I got it.
There you go.
Filler bell. This is
They're giving somebody a break.
This has got so much filler. I think it's a bowl of oatmeal.
I think it was a Hall & Oates song they did. Yeah. He had this song called
So anyway, what I was saying before, I'm going to finish up real quick. This is supposed to be one album, but the record company was like, "Ooh, this sounds really good. We want you to go to another place and record some more shit so that we can sell it as a double album."
Yes.
So they basically put the concert, instead of on one album all full, they made it one album with two sides and then the whole other side, and then there was a fourth side with some stuff from other concerts in Detroit or some shit like that. And that's where they came up with all the fuck-ups that they had to fix. Everything went perfectly, the concert they recorded in California, with just tiny little things they had to tweak. But the 2 or 3 things they had to literally go back and fix or it wasn't going to sound right happened when the record company said, "No, go do it again."
Because we want more
more songs. We want to make it a double album because people are very interested in it already.
Okay.
Whoa!
No, not that.
Caught it. And then I have a face full of dust.
Demon.
What'd you do, kiddo?
Demon.
Is she okay?
Yeah, I caught it. I guess go put that somewhere else.
Here's just the time of year, another acoustic snoozer. Who did the ordering for his set list?
There was no guitar solo in that song. We finally had one. You were right.
And there's not going to be one in this one either.
You are. You're the good boy. Oh.
Okay, I was way too worried about that happening.
If I cared to do any kind of research for this podcast, I would look up if this was the original order of the concert, or if maybe they chopped it up and rearranged it. Because this seems way too early.
This is a lot of sleepy time all at the same time.
Yeah, way too early for 2 sleepy acoustic songs.
Back to
Or
back.
maybe he just didn't really have enough material. Oh God, I can't do it. How about we just save the rest of...
No. We have a bet going on this guitar solo thing.
The winner gets to huff all the vape. It's just the time of year to huff. I think we can all just go on break for a while.
All right.
Do some chores.
I'm just going to sit here and evaluate my life while Frampton here serenades my ass.
Brett's gonna take a shit. He has that much time. I always wonder when Brett goes and does something for a while and we sit here and talk. It's like, does he listen to that and just go, "God, you motherfuckers"? Did you think I wasn't gonna notice?
I would just think about whatever I was thinking about while I was peeing.
Alright. So it was no big deal.
I'm astounded at how much this guy sounds like the Simple Minds guy. Simply Red.
So I guess I should say...
This song.
This is... I can recognize this as quality songwriting and performance, but...
How? I haven't
But
I haven't really been paying attention to what he's been saying. I have no idea what the lyrics are.
It's like technically good in that he sounds good.
He does.
And there's some heart and emotion to it and some dynamics. It's fine. But I have to say, I think I've become so insular in my musical tastes that anything that doesn't have some very obvious aspect of art rock in it, like something weird or unusual in some part of the song.
I mean, that was a straight up folk song, and I get folk from lots of places, and I don't really look for folk from my, 70s rock stars.
Yeah.
It feels misplaced.
But, wow, another fucking acoustic song. What
is happening?
I thought this was also supposed to be like really upbeat.
It is turning into torture. You're right. It's turning into
Here's Penny for your thoughts.
Oh,
so like a lot of big albums we do, it's not what we thought it would be. We'll just call it the Thriller effect.
Yeah.
All right.
I know it's the intro, but...
I have a question for you guys, real quick, while we have this boring song on. I just thought of something. What's your favorite live album? Chris?
Living in Clip.
All right. Brett, do you like a live album? Do you even like a live album?
I'd have to think about it. I don't know.
I don't know. So my favorite is Under the Blood Red Sky.
It's a good
It
question.
was the first live album that I got. Like, I had Kiss before that. because I was that age, so it was perfect. Kiss is perfect for a prepubescent boy who doesn't understand anything. Their lyrics are as insipid as an 8-year-old boy would think, right? So they're just kind of like, duh. But it was the first time I listened to a live album where I was just like, oh, this is what music can sound like. You know, that's why it's one of my favorites, and I still go back and listen to it. Because it's literally, to me, oh, this is what it's supposed to be like. It's not supposed to just be a mess of sound. It's supposed to somewhat sound like the song you know, and again, but also sound like they're doing it emotionally for you right now. You know?
It's another acoustic snoozer. All I want to be, in parentheses, is by your side.
This is the part where all the couples get up and start dancing with each other in the aisles of the place.
I have more to explain why Living in Clip is my favorite live album.
Okay.
That's my favorite live album, only nobody else has it.
Mine is artsy and pretentious. Mine is Talk Talk live in Salamanca, Spain. That's my favorite.
That was a great show in Spain, huh? That's crazy. No, I'm not saying that facetiously. I mean, it's just funny how you see those things. Like Cheap Trick got famous at Budokan. It's just like before that, who else had an album there? Miles Davis or something. I don't even remember. You know, like some rock band goes there, and everybody in Japan, I think it's Japan, everybody in Japan just goes, "You're freaking awesome!" Did you knew them when you went in? You know?
Because typically I gravitate towards stuff that's more staged and theatrical, like Talking Heads Stop Making Sense, or some of the, like U2's Pop Mart, or where it's like they didn't just film a concert. It's like there's a whole production involved,
right?
And it's like there's like more to it than just happened to be one of the stops on a tour that was recorded.
Sure.
Didn't Concrete Blonde have a live album?
Thank God, the next one isn't a sleepy folk song.